Covered in blood, bruises, and tears, in the pouring rain, facing off against her son, GINE finds out how powerful she truly is in the latest chapter of GINE Reboot.
Prepare yourself, 10 Saiyan.
Last time on GINE Reboot, GINE finds out that her son, Raditz, is still alive somewhere in the universe while she is taking care of Goku with Grandpa Gohan here on Earth. But as the Grandpa Gohan saga closes, we get to the ultimate finale, one that we've seen in the Dragon Ball anime. Goku overhears GINE wanting to go and find Raditz, but all he hears is that GINE wants to go somewhere dangerous, so he wants to go too. He's excited to get out of the house. GINE shouldn't be surprised that Goku was eavesdropping because they're in a tiny house, but Goku really didn't hear much, and that is when Grandpa Gohan changes the conversation and wants to give Goku a gift. And so Gohan gives Goku the 4-star Dragon Ball. If anything happens to Gohan, well then Goku will have the 4-star Dragon Ball to remember him by. And Goku is ecstatic to get this present from his grandpa, and he will treasure it forever. Goku cuts right back to the conversation at hand and tells his mother that no matter where she's going, if it's dangerous, he wants to go because he's gotten much stronger in the last months. Remember, Grandpa Gohan has been training him, and Goku begins to run outside to show his mother what Grandpa has been teaching him. But Grandpa warns GINE and Goku, remember, there is a full moon outside, stop him from going, because Grandpa Gohan knows Goku's secret. And with one swift order from his mother, Goku says, why do we have to always stay inside during a full moon? And Gohan says to GINE, it's time you told your son the truth. GINE takes this opportunity because she is a mature adult to finally have a really tough conversation with her son about the dangers of going out during a full moon and why he needs to be protected from it. And she tells him that there is a giant lizard monster that only appears at night during a full moon. It's very ugly and very dangerous, and it will defeat him. And Goku doesn't think that's actually very scary. He wants to fight this monster, the monster that is terrorizing the nights on the full moon. And since he's beaten everything on Mount Paozu, well, he doesn't think that this monster is going to be a problem. And as any parent knows, Goku is not going to listen to his mother and says, no, I can do it, don't worry, I can defeat the monster, and starts to run back outside until GINE has a stern yelling at him and tells him to go to his room because he needs to listen to his mother, which he ultimately does and goes back upstairs. And that's when Gohan has a serious conversation with GINE about lying to her kid only to protect him from himself. He needs to know about this situation in case in the future as an adult or an adolescent, he needs to know that he can't be trusted around a full moon. But GINE brings a fair point, which I completely understand as any parent would, that it is hard to have a real conversation with your son or daughter, having a heart-to-heart, telling them a huge secret like, you know, you come from an alien race, a different planet, there is an evil ruler trying to kill you have a brother out there. There's a lot that goes on with telling Goku that he is an Ozaru at the full moon, so she really panicked and doesn't really know how to explain it to him. Gohan is worried about GINE because she wants to run off to find Raditz and he can take care of Goku, but at the same time, Goku needs to be told the entirety of the truth. And GINE says it's hard to tell him because if she tells him that he has a brother out there and Raditz dies or is dead, hint hint nudge nudge to the future of Dragon Ball, well, you know, that might actually tear him apart. So there is a lot of difficulty in telling Goku the truth about his heritage. GINE has a heart-to-heart with Gohan and asks why he's always so nice to them, and Gohan is very plain here. Goku is the grandson he always wanted, GINE is the daughter he always wanted. He doesn't have much of a family, so this is his chance to have a family. GINE, of course, gets upset that he keeps calling Kakarot Goku and asks how many times you're going to be calling him that. and Gohan says as many times as it takes because Goku is a far superior name. And as we cut to the top of the house, we see that Goku has put his 4-star Dragon Ball next to the picture of his family, and he decides that he is going to defeat the monster, and that way his mother will take him wherever he needs to go, and if she decides to leave and fight in a dangerous battle, she will take him with her. Now this is an interesting conversation. So GINE makes the decision to basically tell Goku everything, and Gohan says that's great, I support your decision, but on top of that I think that you guys should still live on planet Earth as Earthlings, because all the Saiyan legacy, all the Saiyan lore, all the Saiyan heritage has brought you is destruction and pain, and you guys should just kind of forget it, which is something strange I never thought Gohan would say. I guess I never really thought about it if he actually met GINE, if he would have values for the Saiyan race as they are. I mean, Gohan's like almost the complete opposite of what the Saiyans are. Imagine if he met Raditz. But GINE is staunch here, and she says that the Saiyan race, this is all we have left of our people, and this is all she has left with Goku, and Goku will eventually have to learn about them and learn about the pride of the Saiyans, which, remember, she comes from the Saiyan race. So what Vegeta thinks, what Raditz thinks, what Nappa thinks, what Broly's father Paragus and King Vegeta thinks, this is all instilled in her as she is born out of that society. So she's not going to turn her back on them just because Gohan doesn't like the fact that they're fairly negative if you really think about it. But as GINE goes upstairs to look for Kakarot, he is gone, and Goku is outside looking for the monster and trying to find it until he looks at the full moon. GINE is frantic, saying Goku's not upstairs, he needs to be back in the house, this is her fault for not telling him anything of the truth, so he needs to come back. She's going to take the scouter with Gohan, they're going to look for him until they hear a... Fortunately, when they go outside, it is too late, and Goku has fully transformed into the Uzaru state. And this is trouble for everyone, specifically Gohan, because this didn't end so well for him the first time around. GINE has to stop Kakarot before he destroys anything else in the valley. Gohan's a little worried because if she transforms into an Uzaru 2, that's a huge Uzaru battle on the plateau, and that might destroy everything. But GINE says that Kakarot's never seen her transform, so if he does see her, all he is going to want to do is battle her, and that won't do. Maybe she can get through with him for reason and have him actually just look at her and transform back, or at least come to his senses. So she runs off to confront her son, as Grandpa Gohan tells her to be careful. She explains that the first transformation is difficult to control, so trying to reason with him is easier said than done, and as she runs up to him telling him that she knows he's scared and that this is his mother, please come back to me, Kakarot, just listen to me. She also takes the time to basically tell him everything about the origins that she probably should have told him before, explaining about the Saiyans, about the other worlds, about, everything that's going on with the warrior race, and the fact that if you see a full moon, you essentially transform. And Kakarot, he ain't hearing none of that. He is completely out of it, out of control, similar to the lore of how the first Uzaru transformation is in the anime, and Kakarot just attacks his mother, trying to punch her, trying to swipe at her, trying to grab her, even stomp on her, but she is dodging them barely. She even explains that Goku is a lot faster as an Uzaru than she had previously thought. She comes to the conclusion that if she just keeps on dodging and flying around, Goku's full attention will be on her, and once she gets an opening or her mind is set up on a different plan, she'll be able to take him down once he tires himself. But that is when Goku throws a rock right at her so fiercely, so fast that GINE really has no other option but to blow it up with a ki blast. But the explosion is far too close to her that it blinds her completely, and Kakarot takes this time to basically run through the explosion to grab his mother while she's blinded. Now GINE is in the death squeeze, and she doesn't seem to be powerful enough to get out of an Uzaru grasp, which shows that GINE isn't really that powerful as a Saiyan, which is consistent with the lore of what we know about GINE even in Dragon Ball Reboot, so it's not too crazy that she can't really defeat this guy or this Uzaru on her own. But Gohan comes in and swats the hands of Uzaru Goku to try to release GINE at once. And Gohan saves GINE from Kakarot as he is seen yelling in the background. I actually do like this panel a lot. I like that Gohan is like a hero saving GINE, and in the back, I don't know why, but I like the profile of the Uzaru. He looks really cool here. So this is another interesting turn of events. This brings us back to the conversation that they were having earlier. So Gohan wants to cut off Kakarot's tail. That's a permanent solution. GINE doesn't want to do that because she wants to have some heritage of the Saiyan still with them. It is not a positive thing to have a tail cut off from a Saiyan, and she knows that, and even her tail is still attached, so it shows that she had kept her tail throughout her life, and she doesn't want to cut off Goku's before he's even started his. And Gohan says, alright, listen, I'll help you out. I'll grab onto the tail, and that should give him enough time while he's stunned for you to come in and reason with him, deal with him, whatever you have to do, because GINE says that she can do that. So Gohan runs up and grabs onto the tail as fast as possible. And this is enough to temper the beast as GINE tries to reason with him, telling Goku to control the beast inside and stop rampaging, control it. You have the legacy of an entire warrior race within you. Try to remember who you are. Everything trying to get through to Goku. But as far as we've known, we don't really seen too many people control this transformation unless they are elites like Vegeta. And so yeah, this isn't going to be something that is going to happen overnight, at least not within the first transformation. And we've never really seen how people control the Uzaru state so they can just kind of talk and be completely coherent. So this is probably not the best plan right here. Gohan is still yelling at GINE that this isn't working and he can't hold on much longer. She needs to cut off the tail, and that is when Kakarot throws him off and he flies into a boulder, breaking it, and GINE still won't cut off the tail because she realizes that he is too far gone, but still doesn't want to permanently maim him. This just shows how deeply rooted the Saiyan legacy and the Saiyan history is within GINE. So she decides to transform herself, but she looks back and the full moon is completely gone. And as her back is turned, Goku ends up swatting her through a mountain. In the ring, she is beaten, she is broken. Remember, she ain't the strongest Saiyan in the universe, and she starts to get up, but only to realize that Kakarot is ready for the death stomp. He has jumped up and he is about to curb stomp her out and completely kill her and destroy her. And GINE, who can barely move, is basically a sitting duck until Gohan pushes her out of the way, saving GINE and sacrificing himself. Gohan's death is entirely on GINE's hands at this point. She is feeling guilty because she could have just cut off the tail and that would have been enough to save Gohan, but she chose the Saiyan race over her newfound Earthling friend. And Kakarot looms over her, ready to stomp some more and kill her. And GINE remembers everything that Gohan has said prior to that moment about how she needed to handle this. If she would have just listened to him from the very beginning, he would still be alive right now. And that is when GINE declares, Gohan, I should have listened to you, but I was blinded by my Saiyan pride, and now, with a cry of pain, she rushes to Kakarot's backside and cuts off the tail with one swipe. That's all it took, one swipe to end the terror, to completely maim Kakarot so he cannot go into the Uzaru transformation anymore. And that is the moment when Kakarot transforms back into his baby form. And GINE catches him, taking off her shirt to cover him up in the rain. And GINE cries and cries, confessing to Kakarot that she should have just listened to Gohan, that this was a terrible mistake. Gohan and Kakarot Their relationship is now severed because she could not give up her Saiyan pride. She thought that Raditz was still out there and that was keeping her going, but now she realized that she needed to focus on what she has in front of her instead of her own Saiyan pride and her lost family, because now she has lost Gohan and lost to Scouter as well, because Gohan was the one that was holding it, and it is completely crushed. This is probably one of the most powerful scenes that I've seen in a Dragon Ball fan manga for a while, because it shows exactly that history is inevitable. History repeats itself. Gohan was seemingly always destined to die this way, but this is a really cool take as to why he died. He died because of Saiyan pride, and that is something that GINE, someone like GINE, we would have never thought that she would have had. Not like Vegeta, she isn't all about pride, at least that's what we thought. But Vegeta makes it seem negative, and it's not negative in the context the way GINE has seen it, that pride isn't something that is selfish, it's something that is inherent to who Saiyans are. But in this case, she could have given up some of her pride and Kakarot's pride and cut off the tail early, or at least giving him the conversation early. The next day, she buries Gohan as Goku cries and looks at his mother and asks, "What happened to Grandpa? Where's my tail, and why are you so beat up? Is the monster that you told me about responsible for all of this?" GINE reassures Goku that his tail will grow back someday, that the monster is never gonna come back, and that Grandpa was the one that saved them both from the monster. He was the one that ultimately ended him. He was a hero and we should be proud of him. And Goku cries, saying that he's going to miss him. And that is when GINE calls Kakarot Goku, to Goku's surprise, and GINE says, "You heard me, your name is Goku," because that is the name that Gohan gave him. And it honestly is a lot harder now to tell Goku the truth about everything, because he is the one that ended up killing his own grandpa, similar to how hard it would be for him to figure it out in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z's anime. So this is now a harder situation that GINE created for herself, because she could easily tell him the truth, since the lie was the one thing that made everything so much worse. But now there's so much guilt wrapped up in just a little kid for killing his own grandpa that she can't do that to him. GINE pulls out the 4-star Dragon Ball and says that she has to admit the name is better than the one that she's been calling him. So to honor Gohan's memory, she is going to call him Son Goku, and Goku is ecstatic about this. Goku sadly asks if his mother is going away again, but no, she's not going anywhere. She is staying right there with him. Now with the Scouter gone, Raditz is basically on his own, and she hopes to see him one day, which that'd be kind of cool to see that portion of this story. If she actually does see him again, then she'll realize the toxicity of the Saiyan race, or the Saiyan lineage, or the Saiyan pride. And now she's just going to stay here, live on Earth, teach Goku everything that Grandpa Gohan taught him and taught her. Tries to cheer him up and say we're going to honor Gohan's memory by practicing and training in Gohan's martial arts style, honoring what he stood for. GINE finally says goodbye to Grandpa Gohan. Now a few months pass and GINE is outside her house training. Now this is her house because she basically inherited it from Gohan. So we get to a little bit of a time skip where Goku's tail grows back, and when it does, GINE decides to tell Goku about everything in terms of what happened with Gohan and his transformation, but she reassures him that it's not his fault, it is her fault, because she didn't listen to Gohan and decided to do whatever the hell she wanted. So now it is time for Goku to learn the truth. But she did not tell him about Frieza, the Saiyans, or Raditz, because she will tell him when the time comes. And one day when Goku returns from fishing, she is welcomed by an unexpected surprise, and that is Bulma. She is introduced to Bulma. So Goku introduces Bulma to his mother, which I think is just the most adorable thing. I kind of wish this was the actual way it went down. Bulma ends up explaining what the Dragon Balls are, that she has a few others, and that they are wishing orbs. They can grant any wish in the whole universe, and that she would really like them to join her on her journey, traveling through the planet, finding the rest of the Dragon Balls. And GINE says this is the first time that she realized that this is her calling, and she needs to follow Bulma on her adventure adventures with Goku to figure out her place in this world, and that is where we end off. This is the latest chapter for Dragon Ball Reboot. I will be uploading the entirety of the story for everyone to enjoy soon, so make sure you stick around for that. This is going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.